Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to you. It is time for another episode of Mark's Monday Minutes in Portland Real Estate. It is the week of July 10th, the week after the 4th of July holiday. Hope you had a good holiday, maybe got some time away, spent time with family and friends celebrating the freedom and the birth of our country. All right, this week I have 3 takeaways for you, and all 3 of them revolve around one concept: normalcy. What do I mean by that? Because this is what we typically see in a normal year, such as back in 2018. The 3 takeaways this week. First of all, number of new listings are right back up where they were before the 4th of July holiday. The number of pendings, second point, have come down because folks were not looking at homes over the 4th of July weekend, but I suspect they'll go back up next week. And number 3, we're seeing the inventory of homes start to creep up as we do every August and September. So again, normalcy. Let's get into the numbers and I'll explain why. First of all, active listings this week, 3,872. For the 4th of July week, we dropped down to 3,746, so we've come back up now roughly 130, back up to the 3,811 that we were the last week of June. So basically, new listings, total listings on the market, dipped down for 4th of July, came right back up. Absolutely normal. The number of new listings this week, 537, up from the previous week of 444. The number of pending homes was down to 370 from 472. Again, the new listings come in as pending listings will come back up. They're going to match. This is the pattern that we're in now as of the last month and a half. The number of sold homes in the last week, those homes that closed, 286. Well, that's because people didn't close during the week of July 4th. It really was functionally a 3-day week. So yeah, sure. Buyers did not choose to close during that week. They either closed before the 4th of July or they'll close this week and they'll record next week. The number of homes with a price adjustment in the last 45 days, 987. We're sitting right at that 25.4%. Last week we were at 25.3. The week before that, 24.3. So right at that 25% point in Portland compared to 32% nationally. So Portland is ahead of the curve, better than the rest of the nation, if you will. Number of coming soon homes ticked up a little bit, 43 homes coming on the market in the next 21 days. If you'd like a preview of them, you know who to talk to because I can get you access to those homes, so at least get the information on the homes. Even though we can't see them, we can get the details on them. The number of sold homes in the last 30 days, 1,630. Consistent, just sitting there nice, as I say, normal plateau. Now, let's talk about 4-car garage homes. The number of homes with a 4-car garage, active listings right now, 122, went up a little bit, once again, after the holiday, with 33 of those homes under $1 million. 12 new listings this week, 6 of which under $1 million. The number of pending homes that sold with a 4-car garage was only 4 compared to 6 the previous week and 9 the week before that. Again, the 4th of July drops down the number of homes that go under contract. Of those 4, only 1 was under $1 million. So the ones that went pending were multi-million properties and likely folks who probably had the entire week off and decided to go look at homes that week. The number of sold homes in the last week, 5, with 3 of them being under $1 million. And the number of sold homes in the last 30 days would be 35, 19 of them being under $1 million. Now, we talk about the takeaways. First of all, new listings are back up after the holiday. The number of new active listings on the market went up 21% coming out of the holiday weekend. This is reasonable considering we dropped 37%, dropped down the week of 4th of July. Now we've come back up. It's a normal rebound. The number of pending homes did drop 27% over the holiday weekend. Again, comparable to the drops that we saw in the active listings the week before. We expect that to come right back up this next week as we have a full week of time for buyers to get out and look at homes and see what's out there. Now, third point, again, we have settled into what appears to be a normal annual cycle. What I mean is we have to go look back to 2018 to get back to a normal period. 2019, we started to see an increase in the market. 2020, 21, 22, of course, all complicated by the COVID. And the market just changed abruptly. People didn't want to move. We had hyper low rates. It skewed the market in all sorts of directions. We're back to a normal pattern now, albeit with much smaller numbers. Our supply is much smaller. Our demand is equal to the supply, even at those low levels. Now, that said, We're going to see more homes come on the market naturally this time of year in August and September. These are perhaps not the best homes that would on the market back in April or March, but these are the homes where sellers just took their time getting to market, or alternately, they're sellers who have to sell now because of death, divorce, relocation, some other reason forcing them to move now that they weren't planning on. Now, as a matter of course at this point, because we see a bump in supply, demand will typically not pace that same supply, so it appears as if demand drops off. But again, our numbers are so low right now that really the inflections we see are minute. We're not talking 6, 7, 8, 9 months worth of inventory. We're talking 2 to 3, maybe 3.5 months of inventory. So no dramatic changes. Again, back to that word of normalcy. We do expect that normal pricing will happen. We'll probably flatline from here on out. We should end this year at home prices slightly above last year, maybe a single digit, maybe 2 or 3 or 4% higher than last year. Not much appreciation overall for the year. But what we don't anticipate having this year was last year we had that massive run up in the spring where everybody was just buying because of scarcity, and then suddenly interest rates for mortgages went up, listings came on the market, demand went down, and just suddenly it was crickets for, especially in particular, November and December. We don't expect that this year, folks. Might happen, but the data does not suggest it. All right, that's it for this week. It's 6.5 minutes in, so have yourself a wonderful week. We'll see you back here next Monday.